right now on 5 on Your Side at 10.
It's hot, it's humid with limited rain chances, but I will time out when we'll see a few showers and thunderstorms over the weekend.
Tonight, meet the newest members of the St. Louis County Police Force, why these men and women chose to put on the badge. Plus, city truck drivers turn whistleblowers in St. Louis.
The citizens are paying for a service, and it's a service that they're not receiving.
Tonight, the 5 on Your Side investigation into concerning claims about the city's recycling and trash collecting. But first, tensions mount at Francis Howell.
These policies won't allow students to feel safe enough to express themselves.
The contentious debate: should teachers and students discuss gender identity in the classroom? Good evening, I'm Mike Bush. Kelly Jackson has the night off. Just an hour ago, the Francis Howell School Board meeting adjourned, capping off a night of intense debate and discussion. The proposed policies didn't just fill the boardroom, they sparked protests before the meeting even began. 5 on Your Side's Laura Barczewski is live in O'Fallon, Missouri tonight with the school's opposing views. Laura.
Mike, the most concerning proposed policy change for parents and students was the human sexuality policy. They believe it could possibly harm LGBTQ+ students and even teachers. Several proposed policy and regulation changes brought roughly 100 parents, students, and community members to the Francis Howell School Board meeting. Student Harper Schneider says one thing she doesn't agree with is a new library policy.
They're having the proposed new policies are basically going to allow someone that is not that student's parent to regulate what kind of books they're reading.
One woman spoke in support of changes to electioneering policies, not allowing campaigning during board meetings, which happened during the last election.
Not only is this a gross misuse of a board position, but allowing actions like this to occur only creates more division within our community.
But the policy change with the most opposition was one changing how human sexuality is discussed at school. It says district employees are not allowed to make, quote, values judgments on human sexuality and shall recommend those students direct those questions to their parents.
If a student is unable to talk about who they are and live authentically, it really creates a hostile educational environment. One of the big things is also to consider is that if a LGBTQ+ student experiences bullying or harassment, under this rule, they wouldn't be able to tell a teacher.
A parent of a former student who's non-binary says this policy could be really damaging.
It's heartbreaking because it's basically saying if you're transgender, we're not allowed to acknowledge that. And that's damaging to kids.
The school board briefly discussed it during the first reading. Board member Carol Lee Owens says she thinks they need to have more experts examine the sexuality policy.
Counselors, people that are familiar with all of this, people that really know, because you don't want to do anything that damages anybody.
There was no decision tonight, but the second reading and vote is scheduled for July 18th. Reporting live in O'Fallon, Laura Barczewski, 5 on Your Side.
And we're following breaking news right now in Cedar Hill. Less than 30 minutes ago, we learned a man shot another man in the area. Police originally were nearby on Cedar Hill Road for a report of a fight in progress. Then a few minutes later, a separate fight broke out that ended in a shooting. Police say they have one person in custody. We're working to learn the condition of the man who was shot, as well as how this argument started. Tonight, we're learning more about the Eureka man who was stabbed and killed at a rest stop in Nebraska. Police say an Ohio man attacked Gary Weaver and his wife Mary Wednesday morning. One of their friends spoke to us about their kindness.
They were two of the sweetest, gentlest souls you'd ever want to meet. I mean, if nobody deserves this, but if anybody didn't deserve it, it was certainly them.
Mary is recovering in the hospital. 22-year-old James Thompson Jr. is charged with murder and attempted murder. Police think robbery was the motive. Today, he was in court for his first appearance and is being held without bond. The thin blue line in St. Louis County just got a little thicker. A few hours ago, about 24 police recruits were given their official badges. 5 on Your Side's Robert Townsend takes us to the ceremony where these academy graduates promise to serve and protect.
Their big night is finally here. Meet the St. Louis County and Municipal Academy class of 209.
Feels good. It's awesome.
11 of the graduates, specifically 10 men and 1 woman, will work for the St. Louis County Police Department. The other 10 will serve and protect in Chesterfield, Hazelwood, and other surrounding areas in the county. 23-year-old Joe Resch is the first police officer in his family.
It feels good to be a St. Louis County police officer.
His proud parents couldn't stop smiling.
It looks fantastic. Very impressive. We're so proud.
He's worked really, really hard.
It feels like a dream come true.
It's something that I've always wanted to be a part of.
Jalen Valentine is also thrilled to put on his badge and follow in his father's footsteps. His dad, St. Louis County Detective Antonio Valentine, served on the force for more than a decade before he was killed in 2021 when a stolen car plowed into him during a head-on crash.
I'm ready to jump right into my field, and this is what I choose.
This night, a time to honor, support, and celebrate this courageous class as they embark upon their law enforcement careers. They will work alongside the County Police Department's current 956 officers. After 6 months of intense training, determination, and commitment, you bet the new police officers are ready to hit the streets, some as early as this weekend.
We need officers out there.
Robert Townsend.
Congratulations.
5 on your side.
Tonight's graduation ceremony was dedicated in memory of St. Louis County Police Officer James Mitch Ellis. The off-duty officer was killed in a head-on crash in 2019. Tonight, a step forward in selecting what to do with the land along South Kings Highway. From Kings Highway at 64 to Christie Boulevard, city planners need your help to decide its future. Tonight in South City, residents attended a workshop to discuss how to revamp the area through the Strategic Land Use Plan. Based off responses so far, the most common request is to find ways to make St. Louisans not so dependent on cars.
Some of the big ideas in the plan are about taking every chance we can to make St. Louis a more walkable, vibrant place.
Another common goal is to create easy access to the things people need day to day. You can weigh in online at slup-stl.com. This project is supposed to take 15 to 25 years. Tonight, our I-Team uncovers a startling reality about St. Louis recycling. Senior investigative reporter Paula Vassan speaks with a city driver who blows the whistle on disturbing practices, challenging the city's eco-friendly claims. To protect this whistleblower, we've disguised their voice. What they reveal may change how you see that blue bin at the curb.
This is a risk for you to do this interview right now. Why are you doing this?
So I want the citizens to know what's going on in their neighborhood. Something isn't right.
In a months-long investigation, the I-Team has delved into recycling practices in St. Louis. Drivers tell us the city is cutting corners.
The city has us mixing recycle and trash, and they're always all together at times. Blue dumpster.
Viewers have been sending us video evidence.
Frankly, just kind of sad.
We witnessed it ourselves.
And this is done on a daily basis. It's mainly done on north side routes.
This driver says it happens in about half the city, mainly in lower income areas.
They assume that certain neighborhoods don't recycle.
The city employs 4 workers to inspect alley recycling bins before collection. If bins contain too many incorrect items, city officials tell us they're labeled contaminated. These workers then instruct drivers to dispose of recycling as trash. But this whistleblower says those workers are often not even looking inside to check.
How often are you dumping clean recycling into your truck?
Every time I'm at work, we will still get written up if we do not follow instructions that we were given.
So you're just following directions?
Yes.
The I-Team requested documents showing the recycling process. Our request filed in April remains unanswered, but through sources, we obtained internal records. Drivers tell us these are their instructions to mix recycling and trash along an entire route. They say this North City route has about 75 bins.
Routes should be done the way they're supposed to be done.
Instead of driving down routes twice to pick up both recycling and trash separately, drivers tell us they're instructed to go down them once and combine everything. With cameras inside some trucks showing what's dumped inside, They tell us up to around 65% of what they collect daily is recycling done correctly, but it goes into a landfill.
They're saving money by treating everything as trash.
This practice, according to 3 sources who work in trash collection, has been ongoing for about a year. The city was not available for an interview since drivers have come forward.
Pizza, contaminate.
The I-Team interviewed the city's Randy Breitenfeld earlier this year.
It doesn't take a lot to contaminate a load.
He told us the city is forced to not recycle in areas where it's done especially poorly. Items like plastic bags, food waste, even water can contaminate entire truckloads. And the city does not want to pay for recycling if it'll eventually go to a landfill. There are other obstacles too.
How is lack of drivers impacting the city's ability to recycle?
Well, that doesn't have anything to do with it. It's just that we might not get to your route as scheduled.
But drivers tell us it's having a big impact.
The citizens are paying for a service, and it's a service that they're not receiving.
For now, residents are left questioning the integrity of a system they pay to support. Meanwhile, the city has told us making sure everyone is putting the right things into the right bins will increase recycling rates. For the I-Team, I'm Paula Basan, 5 on your side.
And the I-Team wants to hear from you. You can leave a voice message at 314-444-5231 or email Paula directly at pbasan@ksdk.com.
A childhood dream blossoms into Olympic aspirations.
I remember making a little sketch, like, I'm gonna go to the Olympics, whatever. Like, I had no talent back then, had no business saying that, but like, I just stuck with it because it was super fun.
Meet the local gymnast flipping her way towards Paris 2024. Plus, from doorstep milk to beloved ice cream, Oberweis Dairy faced a rocky road. Now under new ownership, what's churning for this iconic brand? We've got the scoop.
The heat and humidity continue ramping up. Are there any breaks in the heat? Plus, I'll time out when we may see a couple of showers and storms and the 10-day forecast.
In our Journey to Paris series, we're profiling some of the Olympic hopefuls. Gymnast Shilese Jones did not make the Tokyo Olympic team after she was injured in a car accident. 3 years later, Shilese gets a second chance to make Team USA. Chris Egan has more on one of the stars from the U.S. gymnastics team.
Shilese Jones, all the potential, the talent, has it all come together?
The journey of an Olympic athlete can be a long one, filled with many twists and turns along the way. The journey of Seattle native Shilese Jones first took flight 17 years ago.
At the age of 4, I was just doing what every other little 4-year-old is doing, cartwheels, flipping, backflips. My parents were like, you know, we should put her in gymnastics.
Shilese didn't find success early on, but she was having fun chasing her dreams.
I mean, I wasn't the cleanest. I would fall here and there, but I'm just like, this is fun. This is what I like to do. And like, I remember making a little sketch, like, I'm gonna go to the Olympics, whatever. Like, I had no talent back then, had no business saying that, but like, I just stuck with it because it was super fun.
At the age of 12, Shilese made history at nationals. It was a monumental moment.
It's not too often, but I actually got a skill named after me. It's a 1.5 twisting double back on the floor. So that was a big deal because competing something so huge and getting that named after you in the code of points, from there it kind of just blew up.
With success comes sacrifice. Shilese wanted to be around the top gymnast in the country, so her family relocated to Ohio, where she trained with elite athletes, including Olympic champion Gabby Douglas.
It was such amazing to have that elite atmosphere. Kind of just boosted my confidence. My gymnastics was 10 times better, honestly. Just having those older girls, Olympians, to push you.
Patience here, tall push, yep, let it build and swing, tall, squeeze up. You're good, you're good.
In January of 22, Shilese returned to Ascend Gymnastics in Auburn, where her journey began.
She's also very disciplined. She's never going to miss a day of gym. She's going to always want to take one more turn.
In 22 and 23, Shilese helped the U.S. win gold at the World Championships. Now she's excited to get her first chance to shine on an Olympic stage.
I haven't took a break since I started at 6 years old. It would be an unreal experience, honestly. I'm already blessed of World Championship, but I definitely am pushing for more.
Jones did not compete at the U.S. Championships, saying she wanted to rest her shoulder before the Olympic trials, which start on June 27th in Minneapolis. Baldwin native Tyler Downs already qualified for the Paris Games, but he's not done yet. Tomorrow he'll compete in the men's individual 3-meter springboard. Preliminaries start at 9 in the morning, followed by the semifinals at 4. Tyler will already compete in the men's 3-meter synchronized dive. Tonight, a family known for buying wineries throughout Augusta is now expanding to the dairy business. Our partners at the St. Louis Business Journal say the Hoffman family just took ownership of Oberweis Dairy. The Illinois-based company, Oberweis, filed for bankruptcy in April. The Hoffmans purchased Oberweis for $21.25 million. Hoffman says it will implement short-term rapid improvements, including new locations in Chicago and other key markets. After being open just 7 months, a Maplewood burger joint is calling it quits. Tomorrow, Burger Champ will close. On the restaurant's Instagram account, a post read, quote, "Simply put, the space is too big for the concept and the resources needed to continue are past the point of sustainability." Burger Champ opened back in November. Meteorologist Jim Castillo is in for Scott. He joins us now with the Weather First forecast as we hope for a break from the heat, but it's not really coming, Jim, is it?
It really is not. Now, we have a rain chance coming Saturday night into Sunday, but yeah, the cool down, it doesn't look like we're going to see that at all. Even when we get to our coolest, which is next Thursday at 90 degrees, that's about as cool as we'll get in the 10-day forecast. But high pressure is right overhead. You know, we didn't have a drop of rain anywhere, any county today. And of course, just looking at that summer heat from Friday to Saturday, mid to upper 90s, and even Sunday when that front comes through, 95. So not quite a record, but the real field temperature will be in the 100s. It'll feel like 100, 101, possibly as high as 105 on Sunday. So 76 tonight in St. Louis, but that dew point was low enough today to where we see, we're going to see some 60s for overnight lows outside of St. Louis. Now the new drought monitor came out today, and you can see the yellow beginning to pop up again, abnormally dry right around the metro. So we were out of the drought. Now we're getting too dry again after we had a really wet spring, as we all know. A lot of storms this spring. Now we're dry, and look at this heat index as we get into Friday at 4 p.m. near 100 in St. Louis, so mid to upper 90s. And then check out Saturday, the real field temperature at about 4 o'clock, about 100 degrees around the metro. So the high today, 94, and that dew point low enough to call it comfortable for 94, but still 7 degrees higher than that average high of 87. So those lows have been in the 70s, and we're not really cooling down. Even when this front moves through on Sunday, look behind it. 92 for Omaha, so it's really not a big cool down. It's more of a wind shift line, but we'll see that chance of showers and storms in here. So checking out that future cast at midnight Saturday night. Watch as I put it into motion. It's a pretty good line developing. We'll watch to see if any strong storms form. At this point, it just looks like a chance of showers and storms in here, but we'll watch to see if that strong storm chance kind of shifts in our direction. All right, 10-day forecast showing temperatures in the mid to upper 90s pretty much all the way through until Tuesday. We actually could hit 100 degrees. And the better chances for rain again early Sunday. And as we get into Wednesday, looks like early Wednesday, a better chance of rain. And look at that nice cool day on Thursday, 90.
Yeah,
it's
cool.
Not too cool. Yeah.
We'll take a 90 at this point.
Yeah.
Jim, thanks. Frank is here with sports.
Mike, the Cardinals had a thriller in Alabama tonight, and you're going to hear the soundbite of the year from my all-time favorite athlete, Reginald Martinez-Jackson.
This 5 on Your Side Sports Report is sponsored by Telly Tire and Auto Centers, driving your way since 1942.
Right in the middle of this celebration of Willie Mays' life and the Negro Leagues, we had a baseball game. Rickwood Field is the oldest stadium in America. Everybody from Josh Gibson to Michael Jordan played there. Tonight it was the Cardinals and Giants playing there. 99-year-old Bill Greason with Willie McGee on his left threw out the first pitch. Greason pitched for the Birmingham Black Barons and was the first African-American Cardinal pitcher. Brendan Donovan grew up in Alabama, so you know this was extra special. A 2-run homer in the first, 3-0 Cardinals. Donnie with a 3-hit night. Helio Ramos will tie the game in the third with this 3-run blast off Andre Palante. Palante went 5 1/3 and gave up 5. We had some drama in the 9th inning. The Giants put 2 on against Ryan Helsley, wearing that St. Louis Stars jersey. Matt Chapman at the plate. Helsley is remarkable. His 25th consecutive save, and the Cardinals win a thriller 6-5. Also on hand tonight, my favorite athlete of all time, Reginald Martinez-Jackson. The Hall of Famer won 5 World Series. His career actually started in Birmingham in the A's organization. And according to Reggie, being black in Birmingham at the time was not pleasant. Again, here's the soundbite of the year.
I wouldn't wish it on anyone. At the same time, had it not been for my white friends, had it not been for a white manager, and Rudy, Fingers, and Duncan, and Lee Myers, I would have never made it. I was too physically violent. I was ready to physically fight some. I'd have got killed here because I'd have beat someone's and you'd have saw me in an oak tree somewhere.
There is only one Reggie. The Los Angeles Lakers were recently turned down by the best college coach in America, and Danny Hurley. So they made quite a turn. They're hiring broadcaster J.J. Redick, who's never coached a game in his life. J.J. does do a podcast with Lakers star LeBron James. He played 15 years in the NBA and is the all-time leading scorer at Duke with over 1,700 points. Speaking of big numbers, it's quite a weekend in Alton as F1 powerboat racing returns to the St. Louis area. Racers will navigate the unique conditions of the Mississippi River while going 120 miles per hour and feeling around 6 or 7 G's on the turns. For F1 Powerboat Championship Managing Director Tim Siebold, there's family tradition here in Alton.
My grandfather started racing on the Mississippi River right here in Alton in 1939. Followed by my father, my older brother, and myself. Well, I think top speed back then was 10 miles an hour, and if you could hit 10, you were doing good. Now these things are 120.
Let's head to Norwood Hills Country Club for the 5th annual St. Louis Junior Invitational. 54 boys and 27 girls competed over 2 days. The tourney has landed quite a few scholarships over the years. This is the girls winner, Avery McLaughlin. She's Dan's daughter, a really good player at Visitation Academy. And Bubba Chapman, that young man who will be playing at Mizzou next season, won the boys division after winning a state title at Chaminade last month. We will have a Sports Plus to remember this Sunday. We go one-on-one with Doug Armstrong in studio. We give you the success story of Jason Tatum and the remarkable story of the 1996 Olympics, where a doctor and an iconic athlete overcame all medical logic to win a medal.
It really was a remarkable night, using that word remarkable, for the Cardinals tonight in Alabama, just being on that historic field.
It was such a feel-good moment for all baseball fans, too, because you just celebrated the game, you celebrated the Negro Leagues. It was just awesome to be a part of, or just to see.
And I heard a little bit of Bob Kendrick on the broadcast. Yeah. Man, he is wonderful.
He is a gem.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, Frank, thanks. Still to come, meet me at the Muni and avoid the parking, the service that helps fans get to Forest Park stress-free. 5 on Your Side is in the Marine, Illinois Firemen's Parade tomorrow night. You can look out for the 5+ bus. You may have seen it during the Valley of Flowers Parade in Florissant in May. 5 on Your Side and Scott Credit Union are teaming up for nearly 15 parades this year. Starting tomorrow, you can climb aboard the Muni Express. For $5, you can take a round-trip ride to see Friday night shows at the Muni. Kids under 5 are free. The bus service picks up from 13 locations throughout Alton, Edwardsville, and Highland. You can head to KSDK.com and click on the As Seen on TV section for the list of locations and pickup times. You'll only be able to enjoy the zoo for free until noon tomorrow. It's closing for a few hours to prepare for its Zoofari fundraiser. That party starts at 7:15, so if you want to attend, you'll have to pay for tickets. They range from $200 to $500, and that supports the zoo's conservation efforts. The zoo will resume its normal hours on Saturday. And Jim has one final check of the weather.
All right, just really hot and very humid. So highs tomorrow 96, 98 Saturday. Feels like 100 to 105. And then as we head into Sunday, 95, a pretty good chance of seeing some rain and thunder early Sunday.
And there you have it. 5 on your side at 10. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is next. Don't forget to start your day with Today in St. Louis. That begins at 4 a.m. And have a great tomorrow.